Where? Oh, is this where you take the knife out?
Well, you told me that you're like, you already looked at me as kind of like a brother, but
I do look at you as a brother. We have to cut hands?
Yeah. No, we don't have to do that. Although there's a razor blade right here.
Jesus Christ, is it sterile?
Not really.
We have to cut our dicks off?
No.
That's the hook, ladies and gentlemen. Just open the show with me saying, we have to cut our dicks off?
Did I tell you about my albatross? Hey, yo, here we go. Come on.
Welcome to another episode of Did I Tell You About My Albatross? I'm your host, Albi. This is the golf podcast for honest degenerates. It's like teaming up with your favorite foursome every week and diving into the best stories in and around golf. You guys ready to tee off? Let's go!
We out here chilling on the right side of the green. Sip a little something and we working on.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Did I Tell You About My Albatross? I'm your host, Albi. We've got two crowd favorites. They are really the crowd favorites. It's kind of crazy. We're starting to get some feedback from the show. We got my main man, Panda. Say hi, Panda.
Hello, world.
Hello, world.
Wow.
We got my main man, Sheppard. It's actually one of the questions we're going to pose later in this podcast because he's always had a couple different names. We're getting a lot of feedback.
Hello, world. Michael Jordan throwback.
It's just what I say every time.
Oh, is it really?
You are MJ'd out, though.
Tiger said it at the
I thought MJ said it.
1996
MJ said,
or 7 Las Vegas Invitational.
No, Jordan, when he retired the first time and then he announced his comeback, he just put a press release in the newspaper that just says, I'm back.
His Kim Kardashian.
His Kardashian, yeah.
Come on the back. Wow. Well, hey, listen, everyone, we've got an exciting episode for you today. In fact, this is not something we normally do. I've actually Letten. Wow, that's not a word. I have given full reins over to these two knuckleheads on the organization aspect. You should see the beautiful mind board that they've got going on. They've got 4 different columns up here. I'm looking at them. Now Albi always comes, that's me. I always come equipped with something. Like I at least come with like topics and stuff, and we may jump all over the place. We have a great time. I let these guys kind of organize this thing, so we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to let you be the guy that introduces all these fun segments.
I feel like Panda has some exciting news to share.
Yeah, there's general check-in.
Well, first of all, we need to check in on this fucking chain you're wearing, dude.
Thank you. I'm so happy someone brought it up.
I mean, dude, I don't know what... You look like I love it. I look like you just got an interception for the University of Miami and you're getting ready to sit on there until someone else gets one. I love it.
You know, a lot of the time I go chain inside, but I'm going to go chain on the outside. You don't want the offense, or depending on what side you're playing on, you don't want them yanking it off you during the game.
I did try his chain on pre-show.
Right.
And I don't think it was working for me.
We needed help get you out of that thing. But no, so it's just something, it's a new look. So it's Panda. I mean, dude, you somehow pull everything off. I don't get it. Speaking of pulling it off, guys, I'll tell you something.
Is it new? Did you buy it?
No, I've had the chain.
Oh, you've had it?
We keep the chain on ice.
Okay.
I told you I go chain inside, but now, I'm going to be more of a chain outside kind of person. I'm going to approach my life differently. Chain on the outside on the golf course is an interesting look. I feel like it rivals popped collar, and I feel like ultimately, if you're gonna do that, go ahead and perform. That's how I feel. If you have a pop collar and a chain out, and you're 7 under through 9, go for it.
Okay.
If you're 8 over through 12, maybe time to put the collar down, put the chain away.
I think on Friday, for our match, you have to come with your chain out.
I think if I'm feeling it, the chain can come out.
Okay.
It can stay tucked, and then,
make a big birdie putt.
You roll in a 50-footer, the chain comes out.
Okay.
Hey, everyone, we're working on our hooks. This is not a very enticing hook. Don't worry, stay tuned.
This has been the longest Brandon's ever been silent.
Stay tuned.
And it's killing him.
Stay tuned, because we're going to get better at our hooks, because that was not... If you're still in here and around, stay tuned. It's only going to get better. Because I'll tell you something that will hook you, and we're talking about fashion.
What's the hook for?
The hook is to get people's attention so they stay tuned, and we can get our stats up, and we can start getting some algorithms, and we can start getting momentum. That's basically...
so like the hook has to happen in the first minute.
Yes. Hey, like Mr. Beast is like, hey, watch this Lamborghini get smashed into this fucking car chopper, and what is a $10 million night?
We don't have anything
hotel.
cool
We can't do that.
Yeah, we do. We have lots of cool things that we're gonna.
What?
We're not Mr. Beast.
Yeah,
not yet. We don't have a Lamborghini.
People are listening to this golf podcast for an hour when they're
not with
driving.
attitude.
Yeah. Yeah,
We're
we
different.
I don't know if we need a hook.
All right, you know what? We're gonna debate this offline. We do need a hook. Speaking of hooks, speaking of fashion, we just rolled out these bad boys. And if you really don't want to have to worry about can I pull this off or not, be sure to go to Did I Tell You About My Albatross or dityama.fm or dityamafm.com or or other websites where you can buy the merch. And we just got this. We also got the hats. You guys look great. The swag guy came by before you guys even got here. And you know what? That sounds a lot like Mr. Beast. So here's the hook. The hook is if you enjoy the Ryder Cup. For me, I'm a patriotic dude. Now, I will say this. We absolutely live in the best country on the planet. Mark it down. I know you've traveled all over. Panda, I'm not even sure. I don't even know where you're from or what. I mean, I know you're from Montana, Texas. You know, I think that's in the States here.
Has Panda left the country?
Have you ever left the country? That's a great question.
Have I ever left the country? Yeah, because when we were 18, we used to go dick up in Canada and like get shit housed.
Canada doesn't count.
Have I ever left Canada? I went to Hawaii, so I left the continental.
That's in the States.
I've been to I've been to Mexico too. So
doesn't count.
Oh, that counts. Mexico counts.
I've never left North America. No, I just imagine that I would choke on the air because it's so thick with the love freedom. That I would just like.
Well, and speaking of freedom and speaking of the best country ever, I'm a patriotic dude, but I am a super patriotic guy, mostly during the Olympics, but then every now and then we are granted and bestowed this wonderful thing called the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
And
Very excited.
I love it. I think that it is, and I dug a little deep on this episode. I learned a lot about the Ryder Cup that I didn't even know, so now I even love it more, and we're going to get into it. So stay tuned. You're going to learn something about the Ryder Cup on this episode if you just stay tuned. Bam, that's how you do it. Hook right there, and you better. Oh, and by the way,
so do we go to like commercial now?
Yeah, and let's go ahead and take a commercial break. Unfortunately, we don't have any sponsors yet, but that's coming real soon, so it'll be a short break, and we're back. What's your favorite storyline of this particular Ryder Cup?
Ooh,
that's good general discussion.
That is good general discussion.
Thanks.
I'd say my favorite storyline is probably the U.S. trying to win for the first time on European soil since '93. Is that right?
I think
that's right.
I think it is. I think
that's the storyline.
Okay.
The U.S. trying to win on European soil. They're bringing a dominant team over.
What about you, Panda?
And I think that's the story. I think it's going to be a massive disappointment if Team USA doesn't win. And everything's going to get blown up. And I think it's a must win for Team USA.
From a gambling perspective, they're relatively evenly odded. So they're like evenly matched. I think that the most interesting storyline is how America plays, I think, and how the captain's picks play. Just really how America plays, because there's a lot of interesting characters. Like Brian Harmon is there because he won the British Open. William Clark is there because he won the U.S. Open.
Yep.
It's not necessarily that they've created a great body of work. Justin Thomas is a controversial pick. Sam Burns is controversial.
I think Sam Burns is the most controversial.
Why? I think it's got to be Justin Thomas.
Why? Justin Thomas is statistically the winningest USA Ryder Cup player of all time.
He shot an 82 in multiple tournaments this year.
He's got time to there's a lot of layers. There's a lot of layers to that onion. He's done well before. He pairs really well with Spieth. He seems like a good human being to have on the team. Burns is a controversial pick because
is he not nice? He's not a good human being?
No,
well, he just hasn't done anything this year. He's had a very average year.
Openly that I'm not anti Sam Burns, but yeah, he's just had an average year. But he
was picked to play with Scotty Scheffler. Period.
And he won he won the match play. He plays well at the match play.
I think he's picked to play with Scheffler.
Would you punch him in the face? Like, if you had given an opportunity, is Sam Burns the guy you'd punch? If you had to punch one of the guys in the face that's on the Ryder Cup team, who would you punch in the face?
Oh, wow.
Who would I have to punch in the face?
You got to punch someone.
We have to punch someone?
Or your dog dies.
Full disclosure, I want to punch Ricky because he would be not as mad as quickly. He's a genuinely
so
nice
See, I was
human
thinking the same
being.
thing,
like-
and I was
he'd be like,
going
you'd have-
Colin Morikawa.
Be like, hey, dude, I totally get it. You had to punch someone or your dog was going to die. So, yeah, I totally get it.
I would
Like,
go Morikawa. I feel it's for the same way. He's the least threatening.
So I wouldn't do Ricky. He's got too pretty of a face.
Ricky would forgive me, not more than least threatening.
So
Ricky
you're-
would just be like, I get it.
So I look at a couple different criteria if I'm going to punch someone in the face. One of them is going to be like, does he have a face that you don't want to mess up because it's nice? Ricky does, okay? You're going to punch his face. It's going to be all disfigured. And frankly, Ricky's a good-looking dude. I'll just say it. Secondly, yeah, he is nice. I don't want to punch nice people. I want to punch dicks.
If Brooks takes you back, he might kill you.
yeah, I don't think Brooks would be the right guy to mess with. You'd punch him and he'd punch you back.
Brooks is big.
I don't want to get
Brooks
punched
is
back.
Right,
big.
so Brooks is the
Brooks
wrong
is a big
choice.
fucking burly frat boy. Brooks would.
All right, I'll punch.
Rethink
Ricky used
that.
Ricky used to
Brooks
race
would punch you and
motorcycles.
put a dip in.
Ricky used to race motorcycles competitively. Like that dude's pretty.
I mean, you could punch Brian Harmon.
Ricky's
He's like 5'6".
Yeah, Ricky's
Okay.
not very big.
All right,
either.
that's who I'd like to
I love
punch. I'd like
Ricky.
to punch Brian Hartman right in the face,
No
please.
hate.
Okay, stupid question. Sorry.
Can you spell his name for me?
HARM.
Harman?
Okay.
I said Hartman. I know.
Okay, just checking.
Okay.
Is it I think it's MON. He said MAN.
Oh, is it Harmon?
I don't know.
It's not Hartman.
No, I know it's not Hartman. Come on. How do you feel? I know we've talked about it a little bit. How do you feel about the captain's picks? Do you think? I mean, Panda, your take on it is they should only have one captain's pick, and then should the rest all be like stat wise or stat driven?
I said one or all.
One
And
or all.
I'm happy to defend that argument whenever.
Okay, let's do it now. Why would you?
Interesting.
Why would you want all of them? I mean, I've never heard of that.
All captain's picks?
All would be just chaos. Yeah.
It would be.
I
If they
love
would just
all.
go down. I feel like they would go down the list to some capacity.
That's what. And really the ethos of that argument was it should be one or all. I think that the current format is a little flawed. I don't like that. I don't like the current amount of picks. I think that it should be 1 to 2 picks or everybody's a pick. I don't like the current system.
Are there different rules for where it's played at? Are there different rules? Do you know if I should probably know this, but are there different rules if it's played in the States compared to if it's played in Europe?
No.
It is not. But what the big factor in that is that the home course kind of gets to, whatever team is home gets to kind of set the golf course up a little bit, and that's really where your advantage is, but the rules are the same.
Yep.
Okay.
And I
The
think
Ryder Cup is run by the PGA of America, so I am obviously
yeah, we
part
were
of
supposed to go to it. That was
I think that I like how the U.S. does it currently with their 6 captains picks. I think that's smart. They take obviously the next 3, they pretty much go down the list. Like there wasn't much surprise there. And then they get to take 3 guys that are in form or maybe not in form, like JT. But if they just went with one pick, maybe JT's that guy. If they go with all pick, I still think that JT's that guy. I think the team's the same either way. I don't think it changes much. I think they pick the best team they can.
If
So
you
if
go
it's-
none, then it's all just points. So you
Correct.
can take whoever.
Correct. And I think if it's no picks and it's straight points, I think that sets up the team to lose because you're not factoring a lot of outside things. You're factoring just play during the course of the year. You're not factoring in previous experience. You're not factoring in who pairs well with who. You're not factoring in what the course setup is like. You're not factoring if someone's ever even played the course. There's too many variables. Well, they even brought Keegan Bradley over there, and Keegan Bradley played Marco Simone with Zach Johnson,
And then he didn't get on the
incredibly well and played incredibly well, and thought he was a done deal. Thought he was locked it up, and they didn't pick him.
Okay, so these are the stories we got to dive into. That to me is super juicy. Like that's interesting. Why would they?
Why? I mean, they have to pick the best team. They had
You
to
have
see
to
what he's
defend
going to
your
play.
He
opinion.
played better. Was it just the gel, the chemistry?
Because he played good when nothing was on the
Yeah.
line. Because he fucking
To be
dicked
fair-
around with
be
Zach Johnson.
Yeah.
He deserves
because
a
he
spot.
played
That's
better all
absolute
year.
dog
No,
shit.
more so,
I-
more so
You don't
than Justin
deserve
Thomas.
shit.
I
Okay.
would have taken
He
the only
deserves it more than
controversial
Justin
pick, in
Thomas.
my opinion, would have been I would have chosen Keegan over Sam Burns, but I don't know the inner workings. I don't know the analytics. I don't know the people. I don't know who in the locker room if they didn't want Keegan because he's not one of the boys and it doesn't gel well. Like there's so many things that go into it.
ultimately it's just a pick. If you don't get in on the points, then you're up to whatever the fuck
You have-
Zach Johnson wants.
You
and-
didn't earn anything.
exactly.
You don't deserve anything at that point.
You are up for a wild card.
I like the current system with 6 captains picks. I think it's good. USA has 1 live guy.
Oh, so the Europeans don't have any?
No, they weren't allowed to play.
Wow, I didn't know that part. Okay.
Unless they paid fines after they left DP World Tour, right?
Is that what it was?
Or they didn't garner enough points.
Yeah.
Or they weren't popular enough.
Or they weren't a
Because
captain's pick.
Sergio tried to come back and say that he would pay fines and do all this stuff, but they wouldn't reinstate him back in the DP World Tour. Therefore, he can't be on a Ryder Cup team. Because you have to have good standing. You have to have status there.
Albi, do you want JT on the other team?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah, I do, because
If you have to switch teams, you want him on the other team.
this year I do, yeah.
Wow.
You want to trade him for Nicola Højgaard.
Don't know who that is, but he sounds awesome. What a great name.
How about Ludwig?
Is his name?
No.
Ludwig sounds like a great name.
Who would you like to trade him for?
I'm going off names here because I don't know any of these people other than I know Ludwig's good
You want
rookie.
JT or Nicola Højgaard?
I'm going off names again here. I think
That's
I want
fine.
the Lud. What's the
You want Nicola Højgaard over JT?
Yeah, I like that name. I'm going to go with him.
Jesus Christ. How about Robert McIntyre or Justin Thomas? Which one do you want to win a tournament?
Robin McIntyre, it sounds.
Jesus Christ.
I cannot believe you're not on the
What-handed is he?
I so hope in a week we have a podcast and JT just lights it the fuck up.
I do too.
I hope he actually plays to the way he played the rest of the year.
You're
And-
putting the ball up your
So
butt.
you're hoping he plays bad?
That's not
That's
very
fucked up.
patriotic.
I thought you said you're patriotic.
Yeah, I'm America.
I don't think you're patriotic.
We need to learn our lesson. We've gone into these tournaments when it's on their soil and lost how many in a row?
And that's why we're bringing JT, Captain America.
Captain America, who shoots 82. I can shoot 82. Justin, by the way, and actually I do shoot 82.
Unbelievable.
If you
I might walk out.
if you want to come on the podcast, Justin, by all means, and you're one of my favorite people besides Chris Paul and Scott Van Pelt. There we go. I got that shout out. And you're one of my favorite people in golf. I mean, I love you on Full Swing. I love Keegan. Why wouldn't you have Keegan over him? He played better.
I don't think it's a Keegan
make
JT.
who wins the tournament better. We want America to win.
This is our team.
We're openly
Yeah, that's why I
patriotic.
want a better golfer to be actually.
Justin Thomas won a major last year. Keegan Bradley won a major in
And has an
2012.
insane Ryder Cup record.
Okay.
And he pairs well with Spieth.
Yeah. Unbeatable duo.
They're homies.
Yeah, they're homies. Just like we used to be. Before you decided that you wouldn't let me catch you if you fell. All right.
I said I just want to know what the surface is.
So let me keep us on track here because it seems like I'm the most organized here.
I'll be rock hard from the Ryder
Whoa.
Cup till we're done.
Speaking of rock hard, we'd like to
Your gold
take a
chain.
sponsorship break right here. This is for the Cialis Shed. We're still waiting on our sponsorship money. Daphne,
Speaking
we're
of
still
rock,
waiting on our sponsorship money. Daphne, please. We believe in spirit animals. I don't know if you know Sheppard, Panda.
We're not giving free pods anymore.
Yeah, fuck that.
Fuck that. Group veto.
All right.
You
Glad-
pay to be on the pod.
Does anyone know Team Europe well enough to have any pairing predictions?
Oh, they have a Team Europe?
Exactly.
No, I think, Ian Poulter's going to be tough this year. No. I mean, I just remember, like, in all seriousness, like, that dude was sick back in the day, man. Like, that guy, he dressed a little goofy. I love him. He's got so much personality, and he's just got that fucking, like he's going to fucking eat you or something. I love that.
Should we get Ian Poulter on the pod?
Dude, he would be a great, yes. Him and Daly. Oh, my God. We should have them in here.
Oh, you want him in person?
In person.
You want to fly Ian Poulter in?
He's got a private jet. I saw it on Full Swing.
He does. He lives in Orlando.
Yeah, great.
You gotta
That'd be a
put
short trip.
You got to put gas in it.
In his jet,
You really think
I'm putting
Ian Poulter
unleaded, baby.
is
I'm
gonna-
not putting premium in that
Is
bitch.
going to walk into this?
No,
Shed
I don't think
and
we're
do
getting
a
anyone.
podcast.
We're gonna get our buddies in here at best. Despite what you fucking say, I do love this country. Just like who was the old school golfer that left to go fight while Sam Snead was taking everybody, including playing chicks?
Hogan. left.
Hogan. Yeah, dude, I'm fucking
Snead's-
Hogan here, dude.
I don't know what Snead and not Hagen. Byron Nelson stayed.
Byron
Ben
Nelson.
Hogan.
Oh, he had a heart condition or something. Yeah, it's because you don't have a big enough heart to fight for your country.
Wow.
Burn.
Even though I didn't serve.
I think he had a murmur.
I felt bad about that. Yeah, but anyway, no, my point is that
We can deep dive into that.
that is not staying on track, and I do want to deep dive on that. I wrote that down as a potential episode in the future because I do want to get to the bottom of why Sam Snead played in the LPGA Tour event and stole her money.
That could be a whole
Wow, I
episode.
didn't know that was the deep dive we were going down.
That could be a whole episode, I'm sure.
I thought you were going down a deep dive as to why you felt bad you didn't serve.
Yes, I do feel bad. All right. I would die. Listen, I would slow us down. That's the reason. That's what I tell myself. I'm like, we're better, and I think that was the case. Like, I think during ROTC and stuff, when I had an opportunity to kind of get into it, they were like, you know what? We're good. We actually don't even need you to like.
Need you.
Yeah. We're good. We're gonna go in a different direction. But I do think that like I guess my question is like who has that fiery like for Europe or for the US?
Rory, John
Yeah.
Rahm,
I think, a lot of them could.
Yeah.
for sure.
Spieth and JT want to win. Like, Justin Thomas really wants to be there. I know this is the...
Yeah, no, and
Albi's
he's got
hating on
emotion.
Justin
Look, dude, I
Thomas.
like Justin Thomas. I really do. I feel bad
It
for him.
doesn't sound like it. It really doesn't.
I like, you know what I do like? I like giving our country the best chance at a win, in my opinion. And I'm not,
Okay.
I'm not really like, okay, I get it. I'm like, my opinion cares.
Who do you want above him?
I want the person that played better, which would probably be the guy that they brought out and tried out and he shot really low, Keegan Bradley. That to me makes a lot more sense. I don't know. I take this. You have a hot quarterback. Let me use an analogy that you'll appreciate. Panda, since you're, by the way, Panda is also our in-house. He knows everything about stats, knows everything about gambling. We're going to do a segment. I don't know if you're open to it. We're actually going to do a segment, the pick'ems of the week, coming up here pretty soon with the NFL and
Panda's
college
Stone
too.
Cold Locks of the
Yes,
week.
exactly. Yeah, write that down. All right, add it to the board. Can you come up with a couple off the top of your dome for this week?
Stone Cold Lock of the week.
Shot caller.
Yeah, that's okay.
Just let me look
Shot
at the
collar.
numbers.
Whenever they say shot collar, that's basically them pretending I have a shot collar on and keeping me back on track.
Yeah, no, just tell me when you want that.
All right, we're gonna bring that up soon.
Good question, Panda.
Yeah,
I did?
No, my question to you was, what was my good question? I don't know if it was that good. Getting back to football, something that we can kind of relate to. Let's just say, for example, the Jets go, which they're not going to, by the way. They suck without Aaron Rodgers. They sucked probably even before with him.
Shot caller.
If they somehow get to the playoffs and Zach Wilson is just figured shit out somehow, and all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers is like, man, this surgery was amazing. They just did this experimental thing and now my fucking ankle works and it's crazy, or my Achilles. Do you put him in, or do you put Zach Wilson that just won 9 games in a row going into the playoffs? That's my question.
There's not a scenario in which Zach Wilson wins 9 games in a row.
I get it. You got to think outside the box. You got to use your imagination here, okay? Because I know that's not going to happen. The guy looks like he's 14 years old in a 32-year-old body. It's weird.
You go with whoever gives you the better chance to win.
Okay, and who do you think that is? The guy that just had Achilles, the experimental surgery, but he's one of the best quarterbacks ever? Or Zach Wilson who just won you 9 games in a row going in the playoffs?
I think the only people qualifying to give an answer on that would be the people inside the Jets locker. So this really comes back to, do you trust Team USA and their ability to make picks, or don't you?
It's Zach Johnson.
It's not just Zach Johnson. There's a
I know
whole
they've got
committee.
Davis Love. I know they've got everybody.
So do you trust their ability to make the best pick for Team USA? Or
I
don't
do.
you?
I do,
Then
and
you
they know
trust
better than
Justin
I.
Thomas.
They do better than I. I just think that I have a pretty legitimate argument here because
they went back and forth on it for sure. I guarantee it.
I mean,
But they ended up with having all of the information, and they made the pick that they feel is going to give them the best chance to win.
okay, let's hope so. And they hopefully didn't want pressure
And to
into
answer
it by
your
sponsors.
question, you start Aaron Rodgers.
Do you really?
I do, yeah.
If his leg is okay.
And he
Even
says he's good to go. You start Aaron Rodgers.
Even though they just won 9 games in a row?
Fuck him.
What about the venue?
Where is it?
It's in Rome.
What's it called?
What's the course?
That I couldn't tell you that. It sounds like it's some fancy Rome name.
It's Marco Simone. It's
Marco Simone.
It's not super.
Simone?
It's not
Simone.
I use the American pronunciation.
He is
not-
patriot.
No, each team has an analytics team that has been doing like all of the different scenarios, and that's why the course is set up relatively neutral because both teams have a lot of similar attributes. Whereas last time at Le Golf National, it was set up specifically for Team Europe for their short, straight hitters, and it was super penal with rough, like very, very tight on the fairways to counter the long American hitters. This course isn't set up like that because the analytics doesn't show that it needs to. No, I think Team USA, their analytics team is called the Nerd Herd.
Wow. Terrible. Put that on the poll. Is Nerd Herd the worst team name you've ever heard? I mean, it's got to be up there.
It's up there.
Okay. All right.
I might have just made that up. So
Okay, Nerd Herd. That was a great name. If that's going to be one of our shirts. Pick it up on. Did I tell you about
that would be a great shirt.
Dityama.fm. Also, Sam Snee plays Money for Girls. It's another one that we just added to the repertoire. A couple of my buddies were listening to the pod and they were like, "Dude, are you going to the Ryder Cup?" And I was like, "Nah, man. Nah, we're not really going." That was just.
I'll go.
Well,
We can go.
It's too late. It's tomorrow.
It's not tomorrow.
2 days from now.
Timmy flies a plane for a living.
That doesn't.
It's true.
We can't use it though. Can we?
Maybe.
If you have enough money.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will as soon as Daphne sends us our head cover money, and she still sounds
Are you
hot.
sure Daphne's a she?
All right. That's a great question. Put that on the poll. Is Daphne, first of all, is she, and if so, is she hot?
I think Daphne's a group of men.
Just resume it. All right. So what's next? What's next up on the agenda here? Let's stick to the board here that you guys created. I love it.
Which brings us to the listener's favorite, Stump the Panda.
From a shed in Tampa, let's stump the panda. From a shed in Tampa, come stump the panda. Panda's got the facts, he's second to none. Golf trivia with Panda Man is always fun. Golf history, Google with a twist of flair. Try to stump the Panda Man if you dare. From knowing golfers' moms' names and many tours too. How Panda knows these answers, man, I got no clue. Warm shots of Jaeger if he gets it wrong. If you're the 21 at home, join along. Stump of the Panda is hard to do. When it comes to golf history, he's our dude. From a shed in Tampa, let's stump the Panda. Stumping the Panda can be hard to do. From a shed in Tampa, coming straight to you. Stump the Panda, stump the Panda. Yeah.
We don't really need to do that.
This
we don't
would
have
be
the
like
equipment for that right now.
The Harlem Globetrotters versus that idiot team that would be me.
The Washington Generals.
Oh, good job, man. I'm not afraid of words.
Yeah,
And then you promise after this, I get my Albi brain segment. Yeah. I cannot wait for this. Let's just get through this quick, dude, because I got so many good ones.
I'm gonna come back on like Saturday afternoon. And then, did you know that?
I just love randomness.
I think we might need to put a timer on Albi Brain.
All right, what year? What year did the Ryder Cup start? What year did the Ryder Cup start, Panda?
The Ryder Cup started in 1922.
Okay, and let me ask the judges here. You're the only judge in here. Does he have to get the exact year, or can we give him a little bit?
I say
I should probably get the
plus
exact
minus 5.
Oh, plus minus 5.
And I'm going to say 1917.
Okay. All right, 1927.
push.
So yeah, you got it within 5, and that is a win. No,
It's a push.
The cup thing, I figured out how to not loop. The Ryder Cup started in 1927 as the U.S. versus Great Britain. In 73, Ireland was added. Do you know the record from that point forward? Like wins, losses? I think you need to kind of get yes.
So how are we
Third
counting if they just retain the cup?
Win.
That's a win. It's a W.
I love that rule. I love retain. That could be its own.
So do you have the exact numbers?
I do.
Can I ask just like an important question? Are either of the numbers a half of a point?
No.
No?
Nope, they're all numbers.
Okay, so I'll say 11-9, Team Europe.
Wow, that is impressive and
Stone Cold
true.
Club.
Wow, Stump the Sheppard even is coming into play. That's some claps. We're going to get some.
F off, Bailey. I say you butt chug a high noon.
Just got to drive the kids to school tomorrow.
I say if we answer all of your questions right, you have to butt chug a high noon.
Not butt chugging anything like your real brother on Mondays.
One more.
Boy, that Jaeger went down a lot smoother than this stuff.
What are you doing?
So it's Kings County. Hey, and by the way, Kings County, if you want to sponsor this, this is actually
talked about that.
this is actually a delicious bourbon.
We talked about that. No more free ads.
Yeah, it's Kings County Distillery. Who designed Augusta National Golf Course?
Bobby Jones and Alistair McKenzie.
Fucker.
You actually played this. Who designed the Royal Melbourne Golf Club? Yeah, should be a
You
quality.
were there. It was definitely on the scorecard.
Yeah, I know.
I cannot. If this was my segment, I'd go down the kangaroo path. Like, would you eat a kangaroo? Would you?
Do you know?
Are they Australian?
Yeah, they talk with an accent.
They're Australian, or they talk with an accent?
I was talking about the kangaroos.
Oh my God. If they're Australian, then it was Norman.
I don't know if it was designed by an Australian.
Did I come back to it? I think it will come to me.
Yeah, most game shows let you come back to it. Sure, buddy. All right. What about who was the first professional golfer? Ooh, this is a great one. Who was the first professional golfer to design a golf course? I love that question. Who was the first professional golfer to design a golf course?
Do you know who they are?
Do I know who they are? Yeah, I definitely know.
Oh, you do?
I mean, this is yes, I do know.
Jack Nicklaus.
No.
Arnold Palmer.
No, nice try. Tom Morris.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You're right.
Yeah, I know Tommy.
That makes sense.
Okay, a couple more. I'm going to move away from the architect questions. I think those are good. You guys did really good there. I'm surprised.
Who is Roy Melbourne?
So this is going to frustrate you. It's the same person that helped design Augusta.
Oh, Alistair McKenzie.
McKenzie, yeah. It's crazy. I didn't realize it was that old. All right, so what about a couple more questions, then we're going to move on. What's the most expensive golf course ever built in the world?
Oh. Some course in China or Japan.
Pretty sure it's Carrollwood Country Club.
Based on the amount of money that someone paid to build it, or based on the amount of money that you have to pay to play there?
Good. Okay, good distinction. This is what it costs to actually build it.
No idea.
Erroneous.
It's actually the course in I've played it. It is amazing. It's in Vegas. It's the Shadow.
We're about to give you rains.
Yeah, Shadow
I was
Creek.
say Shadow. We've done everything we can do.
It was $60 million.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a brand new segment that we found when we arrived at 8:15, and Albi didn't start the podcast until 9:45 because he couldn't figure shit out.
We started a day early, and you forgot your cord, and it really threw me off.
We have come up with a new segment called Albi Brain. This is a segment where Albi gets to just talk about whatever comes to his brain.
Albi's brain.
I love, everyone who knows me knows I love random questions. I'm curious. Curiosity is a superpower. Be sure to use it. Did you know, Panda, this week that Apple released an update? Shout out to Andrew Sanderson, my buddy, who also provided this one. This I thought was amazing. That if you type the word fuck into a text, which I know you've done many times, and what does it autocorrect to? Do you know?
That's right. It autocorrects to duck. But no longer, my friend. With the new iOS update, you'll be able to send your text just as intended.
Albi's brain.
Charlie Woods. We're calling him, what are we calling him here? Kwoods? Kwoods. You heard it here. That's going to be a shirt. You can buy it. Kwoods. Quotes. We think it's quotes, Kwoods, whatever. Charlie, come talk to us, man. This is the pod for you. Shoots a 66 in a round this week. What do y'all think of that?
I think we have a better chance of getting Tiger on the pod than Charlie.
It's Albi brain. You just got to keep going.
No, I would love to get your opinion on that. Like, do you guys like Charlie?
Love his swing, love his demeanor. I'm a big Charlie Woods fan.
Do you think he loves his mom more, or do you think he loves Tiger more? If you were Charlie,
we are in Albi brain.
I'm curious.
I'd say right now he's probably in
Tiger.
He's into golf.
So this is a topic that was brought up by multiple fans of the show. One named Brendan, one named Jake. And it really was one of the hottest topics leading into the Ryder Cup this past week in golf.
There was an Instagram that basically had this guy playing a scramble, and he he had a buddy, like they were playing a scramble. He hit his putt, missed his putt, tapped it in. His buddy still had a birdie putt. And when he tapped it in, grabbed it, no big deal. His buddy made the birdie putt. And then the guys they were playing with were like, nice par. And the guys were like, no, we got a birdie there. And he was like, no, you didn't. You tapped in your miss for a par.
Albi's brain.
Which is the rule, right? What's your take on that?
The Barstool guy.
Yeah, Barstool guys.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that? What
Scramble rules, if they were official scramble rules and they were stated that if the ball is holed, that's your score, then that's the score. But if it was like a friendly scramble, which we all play in, I don't think that should count as a score if you just tap. We put our marker down. We have a 12-foot birdie putt. I hit it. I miss it, by an inch. I walk up there and just tap it in the hole before you get a chance at your birdie.
I don't get a chance. The hole's over.
That's what the opposing team was saying, was that the hole's over. The team that did it was like, oh, come on, it's a scramble. Like, we get it. That was, case for it.
If there's like money on the line or anything, then the hole's done. See on the next tee. If we're like playing for money and you do that on the Panda, then I'll see you on the next tee. Yeah. The hole is done.
See you on the next t-shirt.
Albi's brain. Are there more eyes in the world or legs? Now, you can take any animal. You can take any being that's alive.
brain. Are there more legs or more eyes on the planet?
I'm really struggling to think of animals or insects that have multiple eyes.
Yeah.
But I can think of multiple insects that have more than just 2 or 4 legs. Yeah, or don't.
Ooh. We're not counting,
eyes.
by the way, we're not counting fins.
What about
as
wings?
legs. I don't think that's a leg. That's a very good question. Put that on the poll. Those are tentacles. I think those are legs, though. But put it on the poll. Are wings legs? I don't think they are. And they have legs. Birds have other legs that are legs.
A wing is definitely in no way ever a leg. Could maybe be an arm, but it's not a leg.
That's a hard question. I'm gonna say eyes.
I think, and it's not a definitive answer. I think it's 1,000% eyes.
Oh, it's not a definitive answer.
No, there is no answer
It's
because
just an opinion. Well, I wouldn't have thought so hard about it then.
Yeah, I went to ChatGPT. And by the way, we're gonna tie this into our next segment. But I need answers on this fucking thing because it's keeping me up at night. Now, what about are there more windows or doors on the planet? Windows or doors?
Percent windows. No, not even close.
I don't think so.
What?
I think it's doors.
How many doors does the Empire State? Oh,
What are you talking about? Think about the interior.
Welcome to Albi's brain.
But even like a corner office is gonna have 4 windows.
Welcome.
What are you talking about? Think about all the inner core in the office. Think about all the doors.
It's crazy in here, isn't it?
Windows.
It's kind of crazy.
Conference room door.
Windows.
Albi's brain.
Office door, bathroom door, stall doors.
No, a stall door doesn't count.
What are you talking about? A stall door counts. Car doors, bus
Albi's
doors.
brain. This is the best. I love it.
Windows. A car has more windows than doors.
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Each door has a window and you have a windshield and a back windshield. And the front definitely isn't a door. The back could be a door, but the front definitely isn't. So
Shout
every
out
car
to
has more-
Allie, who actually is Allie is a customer of mine. She's the one that came up with these questions.
Oreo McFlurry.
Ooh. What if the machine's broken?
It always is fucking broken. It drives me fucking nuts. McDonald's, how hard is it to have your fucking ice cream machine working?
They say it's
every time I
Albi's
go
brain.
there, every Thursday fucking night, the ice cream machine's broken, and I swear to God, it's because the guy's fucking lazy and doesn't want to make me a fucking Oreo McFlurry.
They say it's because they gotta sanitize it a lot.
It's so annoying. I can't believe you brought that up. You jinxed it. It's not going to be working, and I'm going to be fucking. Of course, I'm going to go, but I'm going to be pissed.
Have you ever gone from one? That's okay.
You're an addict, dude, at this point. So I'm a big fantasy football guy. I'm in 5 leagues. I know it sounds silly. The only reason I'm in 5 leagues is because I love people. I love my friends. It's a good way for me to keep in touch with distant friends that like I've kind of lost touch with, but now I'm able to keep in touch with them. I'm in one in particular that we take it serious. Anyway, I won 1 year. I think I may even finish like second 1 year. They had to make a trophy. Now in this league, you have to create a dirty team name. That's the thing. You have to have like a dirty team name. So my dirty team name that year, if you guys remember Justin Forsett for the Baltimore Ravens, he was a running back. The guy was amazing. So I was like, all right. So my team name was Forsett Down Her Throat. No, I'm not proud of it in that league. And the guy that runs the league, shout out to Nate Dogg if you're listening. He actually had to call the trophy. He got a call, like, you know, because we all get trophies and stuff. The lady called Nate Dogg and said, "Hey, hi Nate. This is Pam from Trophies R Us, and just wanted to make sure before we create the trophy, is it Forsett down her throat or is it Forsett down her throat?" Like she was trying to get the spelling.
We had one where you had to take a blow-up doll on a date to Olive Garden and sit there and order for it.
Okay, that could be the best one I've ever heard of. That's amazing.
You had to be like, the lady will have the steak with a completely straight face, and we sat at the bar.
Dude, that is hilarious. That's a great one.
We should borrow Patricia for that.
Yes. Speaking of, shout out Waleed if you're listening, and our boy Crane a friend of the show. His, and I had to fill in one year. So they have to eat. All the other guys have to pick something absolutely disgusting that you have to eat. And they go to a Chinese supermarket or Chinese like food market. And it's been everything from this thing called a balut. I'm not going to talk about it, but just look it up if you want it to. Or I've also seen video of them eating a live eel.
I'm out on that.
Bite the head.
I'm out on that. Are we ready for the next segment? Really quick.
Wrap it up, dog.
Really quick. The last segment of the show is called The Comeback. And we ask a couple questions. Yep, thank you. We ask a couple questions to the audience, get some participation going. Do we think Albi's shaft leans to the left or to the right at address of the golf ball? Yeah. Panda, should he be rocking the single chain or does he upgrade to the double chain?
This is a fan show. As long as you're not a glove putter or a ball retriever, we want you guys to help shape the show. In fact, more stories. Send us your best golf stories. We'll have you on the pod. And if you made it this far, you did it. We'll catch y'all next time.
Did I tell you about my albatross?
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Don't miss out on our upcoming golf giveaways and experiences. They're exclusive to our subscribers, and all you got to do is subscribe. And until next time, golf's easy. Think fairways and greens.
Oh, here we go.